And I am very sure a lot of people in churches where Christ is not preached, they are going to find their way out. Eventually. Because God is not mocked. They are going to find their way out. Jesus didn't die in vain. No pastor died for anybody. No pastor died for anybody. So if a pastor has locked up members in the four walls of a building and is messing up with their minds, as we keep preaching and praying, as we keep preaching and praying and pushing the messages on social media and pushing the messages on radio and television, the shepherd of the sheep knows how to connect the ones that are sincerely seeking him with the word that is going out. How many of you understand what I'm saying? There's an exodus. There's a massive exodus. People are fed up with nonsense preached on pulpits. Isn't it a shame that even the secular world knows what messages should not be preached in churches? Isn't it a shame? Unbelievers will tell you, if not church without, why don't they talk money too much there? Unbelievers know that church is not an economic academy. Unbelievers know. They say, if not church be that, why then do they talk money for there? Unbelievers will tell you, say, Jesus came to save people from sin. No be so. So if you go church, what you supposed to hear now salvation. That's what unbelievers they talk. Oh. International audience, forgive me, let me use vernacular. Let it land well. I beg of you. Let me interpret. What I said is that unbelievers know that when you go to a church, what you should hear is salvation, not economics. Even people that are not church people, they know that. Isn't that an indictment? A church will be doing service. First service, entrepreneurial service. What a disservice to the work of Christ. Second service, skill acquisition service. And them that are teaching you skill acquisition, they are not acquisitioning any skill. Are you understanding? They are teaching you economic principles. They have no business to show that they have used the same principle and it worked for them. Instead of me sitting down under a pastor to hear economic principles, I would rather go and sit under Dangote. I tell you, God is my witness. At least Dangote has proven record. That pastor, even after all that, he will still wait for your offering for him to eat. And yet he wants to teach you how you can make money. Meanwhile, what he's using to teach you, he has not used it to make money for himself. What a disservice. What a disservice. I told you the story of Dr. Paul Yongicho. A woman in his church kept begging her husband to come to church. The man wouldn't come. The man said, I don't want to go to church. I don't like church. Dr. Paul Yongicho told the story. And he said after the woman prevailed and prevailed, women have their way with their husbands. Eventually, she brought him to the church. Unfortunately for him, the day he came was the day Yongicho was trying his new skills on teaching psychology. New skills to teach psychology on a Sunday morning. And the husband of this woman is a professor of psychology by training. So he sat down and he said, Dr. Cho said, he told him, I was just looking at you. I was looking at you trying to do that thing. He calls what the man was trying to do, that thing. So after service, the woman said to her husband, let's go and greet pastor. Pastor knows that you're coming to church today. He said, I don't want to meet him. He said, please come and meet him. Anyway, long story short, he agreed to finally meet. He met Dr. Cho. Dr. Cho greeted him and said, I'm sure you were blessed today. He said, I regret coming. I regret coming to waste my precious time in this place. I saw what you were trying to do. You were trying to teach psychology using your Bible, and what you even did is not psychology 001. You just messed around. Please, you be a man of God, teach your Bible properly, and leave psychology for those of us that are experts in the field. What a rebuke. What a rebuke. I had the president of one of these African countries, some pastors came to pray for him. And then as they were, all these pastors that patronize politicians, as they were praying for him, so one of them looked at the president of a country in Africa. And he said, sir, for you to win this election, this is what you must do. He said, the president said, excuse me, pastor. Pray and go. If it is to win election, we are the architects. We know what we do that you don't know. You came here to pray. Pray and get out. Don't coach me on how to win. How did I get here? See another humility. 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 Not humility. This is humility. A man of God should stay with the message of Christ. It is more than enough. That is the food of the spirit. We come to church to be fed spiritually. We don't come to church to be fed intellectually. There are schools with certification. We come to be fed the diet. So that's why Paul is saying, be careful how you are building. If the foundation is Christ, don't put silver, don't put gold on top of Christ. It will not connect.